Hey guys, it's Rich, and I want to tell you about something that I've become very good at in the recent years. Since 2009, I've been traveling for 11 months a year, but I don't just go to each new place for a couple of weeks. I normally stay somewhere for a few months, and I normally build a real lifestyle with friends and with hobbies, and basically arrive in a place and create a very nice lifestyle very quickly. Now, this is going to be useful for guys that travel a lot or that are thinking of moving to a new city, but I think it's also going to be useful to guys that are living in a place and maybe are not making the most of it. So now I'm going to give you my blueprint for what I do when I arrive in a new place. And I've done this in Rio, I've done it in Moscow, and I've done it in the place where I'm right now. There's a secret location somewhere close to Russia. So, here's what I do. I arrive, and the very first thing that I do is I go out to a busy bar or a busy club. And you might think that I'm going to go out, I'm going to be looking for girls, but it's actually not the thing that I do at first. The first thing that I do when I arrive in a new place is I'm looking for cool guys. I'm looking for guys that I can go out with, who can be my friends and that can put me in a good mood, because I don't want to be going out to places alone. The other thing is I want them to be able to tell me where I need to be going, giving me the inside track, the tips, and being my wingman and all the other benefits you get from having cool male friends. So it's a strange way of thinking about it, but imagine me, I've just arrived somewhere, I'll be in the club, and of course I'm noticing the girls, but I'm going to be looking at the guys more in those first early days. If I see a guy that looks cool, dresses well, is confident, talking to people, then I want to make friends with him. I'll go and say, I'll give him a compliment on something he's wearing. I might ask him a general question about whether this is a good place to be and if there's any other good places. And then so that he knows that I'm not gay and I'm not trying to hit on him, I'll comment on the girls in the place. I might ask some questions about the girls. But then I want him to be my buddy. I want to connect with him. So it might not be enough to just have a regular conversation. I'm someone that wants to hang out with him, but he's already got his friends, his life, his social circle. So I need to be more interested than that. I might offer to buy him a drink, but probably the thing that I could do that would be the biggest help is that I would approach some girls and introduce them to him. If I can take away his need to approach, and if I can give him some great interactions, then he will definitely want to go out with me in future. I do that a few times, and I've got my cool male friends sorted in maybe the first night, the first 2 nights, but very quickly after I arrive. I've now also got a bunch of tips, places to go, and I'm more settled in the city. The second thing that I do is I find some activities, some hobbies, some things that I can do regularly. It could be a yoga class, it could be a dancing class, it could be a language course, but it's going to be something, if possible, that is mostly female, that is something that you like to do, and that is something that is going to be full of locals instead of foreigners. You go to these classes, you get to know people, and again, this becomes a different kind of social circle outside of the nightclub and the bar scene. Next, yep, sure, you can start approaching women, but what you're going to do is you're going to invite them out. You're going to invite them out to bars, you're going to invite them out to the clubs with you, and the goal is that next time you go out, that you've met a bunch of women in the daytime, you've invited them out with you and your friend, and you end up having a fantastic night. From the point where you've got these connections, you've spent the first few days just being friendly to people, connecting with them, trying to learn about the place, then you can actually start hitting on girls and looking to get dates and things like that. But it's something that's actually better if you leave it a bit, if you wait, because the worst thing that could happen is that you go out, you only game, and then you're inviting girls out, but maybe they flake or you don't know where to take them, and you're in this situation where you end up being alone in the city. The other big mistake that guys make is they arrive somewhere and they head straight to the Starbucks, the Irish pub, the McDonald's, or wherever it is that all of the foreigners are hanging out. Don't do that. Try and find the inside track, the cool locals, because you will always get more out of a place when you're in touch with the coolest local people than you will if you're hanging out with some foreigner who's in exactly the same situation that you are. So guys, there you have it. That's some of the stuff that I've learned from my travels in recent years, and it's pretty simple stuff. Now I do it as a habit, but I know that a lot of guys are in trouble when they move to a new place, and now if you follow this blueprint, everything should be good for you. Thanks.